Hello and welcome to this episode of Unlocking Your Coaching and Leadership Potential with me, your host, Sarah Fletcher. So this episode has come about from a conversation that I had with one of my clients who is in my Limitless Potential Mastermind. So this is for women in business who are predominantly coaches and who want support and help building their coaching business. And we were talking in our session about self-leadership for your coaching business and how important this is to run a successful business. And actually, this episode really isn't just for coaches, it's for anybody who runs their own business and who wants to lead themselves successfully in their business. So let me kind of just rewind a little bit. So my background is teaching. So I worked in education for almost 20 years before I ran my own business. So alongside my teaching, I did have a private psychotherapy practice, but it was, pretty small. I had sort of saw 5 to 6 clients a week in any spare time I had in my sort of teaching job. And I didn't really have to work very hard to get those clients. They came through an associate. I was an associate therapist for a couple of large organisations, so I didn't actually have to find those clients. They came to me quite easily, and actually I could have probably seen a lot more clients, but I only saw a few because I was working as a teacher. So when I left my teaching job, I didn't really have much clue about how to run properly a business. I kind of knew that there was things I was going to have to do that I hadn't previously done, but I didn't really know what it involved. I hadn't done a business degree. I hadn't even done a business course. My degree was in psychology. I'd then gone pretty much straight into education and, stayed in education for up to 20 years. So I really didn't have a clue how to run my own business. So I was one of those, bought all the courses, bought the marketing course, bought the email list building course, bought the social media course, joined groups, and I kind of just learned along the way, really. However, what I did know about and what I knew a lot about because of the training that I'd had was actually about self-leadership. And I realised very, very quickly how important being able to manage myself and lead myself was in running a successful business. So I want to share with you a couple of my own sort of learnings and conversations. I have many conversations with people in business, not just women in business, but lots of different people in different businesses, with networking meetings that I go to and all the things that you do when you're in business. So a couple of things that I've learned along the way that have been really useful, that kind of come really from my NLP background, my NLP training, and of course what I then go on and teach others. So I think first of all, number one is about knowing your values, knowing what's important to you. So I think if we are overwhelmed or stressed or, running on that kind of adrenaline, or you maybe you've entered into that fear mindset or scarcity mindset, or maybe there's been some challenges and things that are happening in your business and you find yourself in that kind of head way of being, you're kind of overthinking things, or you're in that sort of overwhelm, or there's kind of lots going on, loads of different things you have to do, being pulled in all sorts of different directions. It can be easy to kind of get caught in the overwhelm of things, and we can forget sort of what's important to us or why we are doing what we are doing. And many of the conversations that I've had through coaching people in business and just generally having conversations, it's almost like we can forget that maybe the reason why we started our business or why we're doing what we're doing. And it might be that we're stuck in kind of being target driven or goal driven or task driven, and almost disconnected from why we are doing what we are doing, what's important to us about doing what we are doing. So one of the things that I found really useful and helpful, and lots of people that I've coached have also found useful, is to reconnect back in with their values, what's important to them, what are they passionate about and why? So, some people start their business because of an experience that they've had and they want to make a change, they want to make a difference, they want something to be different. So it's driven from a place of maybe being passionate about something because they have, like I say, experienced it, or they just feel really, really passionate about making change in some area. Some people start their business because it's something that they wish they'd had, and wasn't available, so they want to start a business to give other people the things that they haven't had. We start businesses for many different reasons. We all have a story as to why we start our business. And the problem can be that this can get a little bit lost along the way, because we might find ourselves firefighting, we might find ourselves coming up with all sorts of challenges and difficulties, and running your business can sometimes feel quite lonely and isolating. It can feel sometimes like an uphill struggle. It can feel uncertain, it can feel difficult. And unfortunately, this can take us away from perhaps the why, the values, what's important to you about running your business. So one of the things that I found, and one of the things that I have conversations a lot about, are reconnecting back in with your values. And actually, our heart, leading your business from your heart, is kind of the best place to lead your business from, because then you really tune into and align your business with your values. So you can start by asking yourself questions like, what is important to you about having your business, about your business? What does having your business give you in your life? What does it give others in your life, either immediately, sort of in your family and the people that you serve, the people that you are working with? What is the benefit of having your business for your own life and for the people that you serve, your clients, your customers? What is it giving them? And then you can kind of chunk up it to those values. So what does having that give you, and what else, and what else, and what else? And often when we chunk up our values, we might get to kind of, freedom, fulfillment, satisfaction. It might be about connection. It might be about, giving something back into the world. And this can really take us even higher into that real connection of what's your mission, what's your purpose, what are you here to do, what is your place on this earth, here for, why are you here? And we can kind of get a bit philosophical for that, but actually really tuning into those values can remind you to come back into your body, back into your heart, back into what's really important to you. What's it giving you personally? What's it giving perhaps your family? What's it giving others? What's the bigger picture, the bigger vision of your business? And this can be really useful as well when you're kind of doing that mission and that vision statement of your business. So reconnecting back in with your why can take you out of all of that kind of head fuzz, the overwhelm, the stress, the fear, maybe the that kind of running on sort of adrenaline. Can take you out of that, back into your body, and really reconnect you with your why, your purpose, your vision, your mission. What's actually truly important to you about running your business from a personal level, and what it gives you, and on a bigger scale level of what's the impact that you're having, what are you here to do, what mission, what message are you here to share in the world, and how are you going to do that? And what that can do then is refocus that sort of attention and intention and energy that you've got to really start to get creative with those ideas, and really support you in moving forwards with the things that you want to move forwards in your business. So what I find is when I personally do that, it really helps me get back into that energy of creativity and flow, and sort of feeling really more positive and getting into that possibility thinking, rather than feeling kind of stuck in the day-to-day thing. So it's really important, I think, when you're in business to have that time where you've got that business development. And some business development might be your own personal development. It might be, going on courses. It might be reading books, listening to podcasts. I think one of the big things is to really give yourself that time and that space to do the personal development work and keep coming back to your values, then it might be that, you know, your values throughout your business change. You'll change and grow through your business. I know I certainly have over the last 4 years. The version of me that started 4 years ago is a pretty different version to who I am now, and I will continue to evolve and grow. And I'm sure that I'll be a different version of me next year, the year after, the year after. That's the excitement of being in business, that you continue to grow and evolve, and your business grows and evolves with you. So really reconnecting back into your heart, into your values, what's important to you, what's driving you, what's your purpose, what are you passionate about, what's your mission, and what does having your business give you personally? What does it give you on a bigger scale? And how can you remind yourself every single day of your values, of your mission, of your purpose, so that when you are perhaps feeling a little bit destabilized and a little bit decentered, and, you know, perhaps there's lots going on that might be causing you a little bit of stress, you can come back to that to help you stay centered, focused, calm, and then getting into that sort of creativity and mindset of possibility to keep working on the things in your business that you want to work on. So for me, that's something really important, and something that I share a lot, you know, with my clients. And when we're talking about how do we sort of navigate business, how do we lead ourselves through our business, how do we stay connected with what's important to us, and you know, really reminding ourselves of the bigger impact, the wider impact that you're having as a business owner. And, you know, that's pretty awesome and exciting to know that as a business owner, you know, you're making an impact in the world. You're kind of putting your stamp, your imprint out there in the world, and making a difference in some way, in whatever way that is for you. So that's the first thing, sort of your values, connecting with your why. And then secondly, what's super, super important, and this is where NLP has really supported me in my business, and this is why I'm so passionate about sharing it with business owners, it's about managing your own state. And, you know, our state kind of determines pretty much everything. Think about yourself, you know, going and performing. Perhaps you're going to give a presentation. Perhaps you're going to a network meeting and having a conversation with people. Perhaps you're pitching your business. Perhaps you're speaking to a really important client. Perhaps you're putting together a proposal. Perhaps you are, you know, wanting to get some tasks done, wanting to get things done. Perhaps you are taking on, you know, somebody new in your business, and you're having a conversation with them. Whatever it is in your business, your state absolutely determines how you will perform. And, you know, your state is a combination of the way that you're thinking about things. So, you know, your mindset, if you like, the thoughts that you're having about things. Then, of course, the feelings that these sort of thoughts create, the feelings, the sensation in your body, the physiology, you know, the way that you hold your body, the way that you are breathing, the way that you're standing, your body, your gestures, the language, if you like, of your body. So ultimately, you know, your thoughts and your feelings, your sensations, your physiology then determine the results that you get. They determine your behavior. They determine the performance, if you like, that you give, whether that be being able to get on and do tasks, whether that be having a conversation, whether that be dealing with difficult customers, having those difficult conversations, whether it be navigating uncertainty or change or things that have suddenly happened that you weren't expecting. It is all determined. The way that we handle those situations, the way that we deal with them, the way that we perceive those situations is all determined by the state that we are in at the time. And this is where NLP can really support you in that, because NLP essentially is about state. It's about managing your thoughts, managing your feelings, managing your behavioural responses to achieve the results that you want, to get the things that you want in your life, and of course ultimately here in your business. And I know for myself that kind of mastering your state is a sort of lifelong thing. I'm a parent, a wife, a friend, a business owner, and every single day we manage our state, and mastering that, I kind of almost like that self-mastery, that personal excellence, is definitely something that we learn every single day. We learn how to do it every single day. And one of the ways that we can, navigate our state or manage our state more successfully is to have self-awareness of it, first of all, because many of us don't even have self-awareness of what is actually going on inside of us. You might be in say for example, let's give an example. You might be in a networking meeting, and you might have presented yourself at this networking meeting, and you might be feeling slightly nervous because perhaps you don't like being in sort of big crowds of people, or maybe you're not used to networking. You might be sort of uncertain about kind of what to say, or how to pitch yourself, or how to stand up and tell people about your business and tell people about how you can help them. So even before you get to that networking meeting, you might have been feeling slightly tense. So your shoulders, might be tense, you might be clenching your jaw, your heart rate might be going a little bit faster than what you would like it to be. You might be running thoughts of, what am I going to say? Who am I going to see there? What's it going to be like? Am I going to say something wrong? Am I going to pitch and it's going to sound stupid? Which then might send some kind of, churny feelings in your stomach, or you might be feeling a little bit hot, blah, blah, blah. So this is our state, and the way that we, navigate, the way that we manage our state is going to impact the results that we get, the performance that we give. And like I say, many of us aren't even aware of kind of what is going on inside of us. We're not noticing our state. We're not noticing those subtle shifts inside of us that might give us an indication that we're either in a resourceful state, one that we want to be in, or an unresourceful state, maybe one that is not very helpful, maybe one that is limiting us or preventing us from showing up as our best self, and kind of shining our light brightly in a way that we want to. So managing our state and leading ourselves is really important in business, because it impacts everything from the communication that we have with our clients, with our customers, with our service users, whatever you want to call, whatever you call the people that you work with, to sitting down, getting on with tasks, completing things, putting that proposal or whatever together. Your state is absolutely crucial, and it's really important that we know how to lead ourselves, how to optimize, if you like, our state so that we are as successful as we possibly can be. So what you can do is you can begin to observe and notice your own state. Notice, what thoughts are you running? Are they useful? Are they helpful? What's the story that you're telling yourself about who you are, about what beliefs do you have about yourself? What pictures and images are you creating about those situations, those contexts? What feelings, sensations and emotions are you running? And are you getting the results ultimately that you want to get? And if not, then how can you change it? So in NLP we talk a lot about kind of having quick state change techniques. So if you notice that you have maybe your breathing rate has changed, perhaps it's gone a bit faster, or perhaps you're talking faster because you've got nervous, or I'm naturally quite a fast talker anyway. But noticing in yourself from the inside out what your state is, and then changing something within you to change your state. Because the thing is, when we change one thing, it will have an impact on the other things. Mind and body are connected. So if we change a thought that we're running, then we'll change the physiology in our body, or we'll change the sensation or the feeling that we're experiencing. If we change some form of our physiology, then we'll change the thoughts that we're running. So for example, you might notice that your breathing rate has changed. So you put your feet on the floor, you drop your breathing down into your diaphragm, you center yourself, you take a couple of nice deep breaths, And then you notice that your thinking becomes clearer. You notice that your mind stops worrying. You notice that, you feel calmer in your body, and you feel kind of more in coherence rather than not in coherence. So we can change our state really quickly by altering our breathing. Or it might be that you're at your desk and you're feeling a little bit sleepy, and perhaps you're getting distracted. You might be messing on your phone might ring, or you keep checking your emails, and this happens to us all. So you might realise that, okay, I'm getting distracted here and I'm not really getting done what I want to get done. So you might decide that you're going to stand up, shake your body about. Perhaps you go out for a walk and get some fresh air. Perhaps you go and get, a brew or a glass of water. But again, it's changing that energy in your body so that you change that state. And then again, you might take a couple of deep breaths and get grounded, and then come back and continue with your work. It might be that you want to get into that creative space. So maybe so I know for me, I'm quite visual, so I've got things in front of me here, so I like to see things on my board. I like to kind of have the kind of visual. I like colours. So for me, when I'm planning and getting creative, I'll do the Disney creativity strategy from NLP, which is where you step into the dreamer state first of all to generate loads of ideas, and you kind of just dream the possibilities. Then you step into realist and planner, and you start to plan it out, and I might go in a different position. So when I'm dreaming, I'll tend to kind of look up, and I'll get colours, and I'll get post-it notes and stick them all over my board. When I'm planning, I'll sit at my desk, I'll get a piece of paper or my book or on my laptop. And then the other part of the Disney strategy is the critique. So then I'll critique the plan, not the dream. Critique the plan. What might I not have seen? What are the gaps? What else is possible? What might go wrong? Where might I need to change and tweak things? So it's always about kind of tweaking those strategies that we've designed and refining them. So again, having these techniques, if you like, that can help you to optimize your state, get into the state that you want. So that might be, for me, sort of a creative state, creating possibilities for my business. I might want to be in a focused state, so I might do something different. I might want to be in an energized and energetic state, so then I do something different for that. So really what this is all about when I'm talking about you're managing your state, if you like, and leading yourself successfully, what I'm talking about here is having that self-awareness, first of all, of noticing what state you're in. First of all, what state do you want? And if you're not in the state that you do want, then how are you going to get into it? How are you going to change some of those thoughts, feelings, physiology to be in the state that you want to be in? So I just wanted to share that with you on this podcast episode, because there's so much more I could talk about, and I will do over some more episodes. But for me, they were kind of two of the main things when I think about, leading our businesses successfully, leading yourself successfully in your business, leading it from your heart with your values, what's important to you, knowing how to lead yourself, lead your state, your way of being, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, your behaviors, because that really actually determines the success of your business. I think those two things are really crucial and really important when we're talking about leading ourselves successfully in our business. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. What have you done in your business to lead yourself successfully? What things really help you to kind of have those self-leadership skills? I'd love to know. So do comment, either if you're watching it on YouTube, then comment on the YouTube, or if you're listening to it on my podcast and on Apple or Spotify, then please do share with me. And of course, if you want to know more about NLP training, if you want to know more about coach training, then I'd absolutely love to connect with you. So do subscribe to my mailing list, come over and join my Facebook group, and let's connect and have more conversations. So until next time, I'll see you soon.